It is finally time for our Seattle Mariners Mount Rushmore. David, you are a Seattle Mariner. You are not, unfortunately, on the Mount Rushmore, although you're in the Mount Rushmore of my heart, buddy. Who is your number one player in the Seattle Mariners Mount Rushmore?
So we talked about like the Mount Rushmores. I'm trying to move some stuff around. We're talking about the Mount Rushmores on different teams and how they would compare to other teams. This is an interesting one because the top couple guys on this list could go up against almost anybody on any list. So this is a fun one. Number one on the list is our boy, our man, who actually messaged us while we were on the show on Instagram. He DM'd us right there, but Mr. Ken Griffey Jr.
What can we say about Junior? Hell, we talk about him all the time. You know that David loves him. You know that I love him. JD loves him. Just the greatest pure player I have ever seen. I will say that until Ohtani, he was the best or second best all-around player in the history of the game, in my opinion, up there with Willie Mays, up there with Mickey Mantle. He is the GOAT, and he is the GOAT of good people. I love Junior. Add something to it because I don't know what the hell else to say.
Let's go through some numbers. MVP, 13-time All-Star, 10 times Gold Glover, 3-time Home Run Derby champion. Now that's a thing. 7-time Silver Slugger, Major League Player of the Year, All-Star Game MVP. I mean, what do you want to say about him? Just the greatest player, the purest of swings, completely changed baseball in so many ways on the field and more importantly off the field. You know, one of the highest voted Hall of Famers of all time. Just Junior, the kid, whatever you want to call him, incredible.
And they even have the Swingman Classic right before the All-Star game to honor Junior. He's that important. He's that great for the game, and we absolutely love him.
And injuries, a couple knee things while he has his time in Cincinnati. And remember, he played on turf for so many years. Some knee things were probably the only thing stopping him from being on that extremely short list of greatest players of all time.
I think if he didn't get injured, he would have been the best player of all time.
I am there with you. It's sad to have seen that because it was like so great. And he easily could have been a multi-time MVP. What's so funny is he only won one MVP. And it's you're like, dude, this guy dominated for years. Yeah, he did. Dominated for years and did it in a steroid era time, completely null void of steroids. And it was amazing.
And for the youngsters right now who don't understand how important Junior was, he was not just the face of baseball like Ohtani or Judge right now, but he transcended that. He had commercials. How many Judge commercials do you see? Not many. I mean, there's a few, don't get me wrong, but Junior was on The Simpsons. He was on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He was in movies. I mean, he was that big of a cultural icon. It was Bo, it was Junior, and it was MJ during the 90s. That's it. Those were the guys.
And he was third in Rookie of the Year to Greg Olson and Tom Gordon. Crazy. Absolutely great. But it wasn't just on those things. He was an icon, and like he was, they're like Jordan in basketball, and Bo Jackson and everything, but then him in baseball, like he was rival. Video games, like his own video game, not just a baseball video game with him on the cover. Ken Griffey Jr. baseball. Like there was, the commercials were legit. Like you wanted his merch. Guys still are wearing his merch, and that's like baseball isn't bringing that back too is amazing. Like your favorite player's favorite player.
Yeah, and my favorite part about what Junior did and his video game, I don't know if I told you this. I'm pretty sure I told you this. I had Junior sign a video game for our producer, Alex, because, they know each other as well, because we're all in business together. And on the back of the video game, it says, "To Alex, grow up, Ken Griffey Jr." It's the best. And of course, on the front, he did it the right way. "To Alex, best wishes." No, it wasn't that one. It was the N64 one. But yeah,
that's amazing.
That's how big he was. You play Madden, you play Ken Griffey Jr. baseball.
Yep.
All right, who's up next?
The rile some feathers here. The greatest DH of all time until Ohtani.
Stop. No, I can't give you better than third.
What?
I'll take Big Papi over Edgar.
No.
DH.
Edgar.
Really?
I think statistically, too, Edgar beats him.
Yeah, but
it just Papi had those moments. Edgar had those moments too. Like, let's not forget, Edgar had some of the biggest moments in Mariner history, just like Papi did with the Red Sox. I think Papi just transcended baseball a little bit when he took the mic and talked about the bombing and like, this is our fucking town. That sort of things and like he got elevated on this other stage that Edgar didn't get to be on. But Edgar Martinez is absolutely amazing, Hall of Famer for the Mariners. This guy was a part of those same 90s Mariners team that Griffey was on. Some of the biggest plays in Mariners history. Him and Junior together saved baseball in Seattle. Hall of Famer, 7-time All-Star, 2-time batting champion, 5-time Silver Slugger, Clemente Award winner. And a lot of people forget he was a third baseman for a while. He played other positions and was DH at the end of his career.
I was always a fan of Edgar. I had a bit of a problem when he got into the Hall of Fame because he was primarily a DH. I've changed my tune on that because of what I've seen from David Ortiz and him getting into the Hall, and obviously what I've seen with Ohtani, although Ohtani's not a DH, blah, blah, blah. But Edgar Martinez was a crazy
Ohtani
hitter.
Is a DH, though. Ohtani's a DH he's a pitcher, but like for most of his career, he's going to end up being just a DH.
He'll move to the outfield. Anyway. Now, the next guy up, which I can't believe was after Edgar on your list. I don't know if you do it in any particular...
No.
Okay. And
not necessarily. I do actually... No, I don't do it in any particular thing. By the way, Edgar Martinez has a higher WAR, way higher batting average, 312 to 286. On base percentage is above by 40 points. Ortiz has them on slugging, OPS and OPS plus. Edgar has on both of those.
Really?
RBIs. Ortiz has more. Home runs, he has many more. But hits are relatively the same, only 200 off. But Ortiz had almost 2,000 or 1,400 more plate appearances. 1,400 more plate appearances with only 200 more hits, 230 more home runs. So a lot of those things would have evened out if Edgar had the same type of numbers, the longevity of David Ortiz. But OPS plus and OPS were higher than Ortiz.
That's funny. I would have guessed the OPS plus would be higher for Edgar, but I didn't think that the OPS would have been higher. Interesting.
Because everybody puts Ortiz on this pedestal, and with the championships and stuff like that and Boston and East Coast, and like Edgar wasn't as good, and Edgar shouldn't have been a Hall of Famer. Papi for sure. Like it's like, wait, like they're the same, and Papi had a lot more at bats. Like Edgar had higher WAR if we want to throw into that thing, like and higher WAR by 13. By the way,
that's significant. That's
significant.
Not a joke. Okay.
Yeah.
Up next, Ichiro,
Hall of Famer, MVP, 10 times All-Star, Silver Slugger. What do you say? 10-time Gold Glover, one of the best arms in baseball. 2-time batting champion, like MVP, Rookie of the Year came in, had probably the greatest rookie season in Major League history. Absolutely incredible, like what he was able to do. Probably the only downfall with Ichiro in his entire career that he was focused on hits, and not a pure leadoff hitter. Some of the teams might have been better if he was more of a pure leadoff hitter, but he wouldn't have had the hits. In my eyes, he's my hitting champion. He's my batting champion in all of baseball. If you had him in the Japanese years and his years, more hits than Pete Rose overall, and he played a lot less games when he was in Japan than he did in a lot less games over those seasons.
If you're going to change the rules to make Josh Gibson, who did not play in Major League Baseball, he played in the Negro Leagues. If you're going to change the rules to make Josh Gibson the highest batting average of all time, then you change the rules to make Ichiro the all-time hit king. It's the same exact thing.
Yep. I completely agree with you. It's the same.
And
It's the same thing. We can argue up and down, but are you calling this baseball stats or Major League Baseball stats? Because Major League Baseball is one thing, baseball stats are a whole nother. And
Yep.
if we're going to do one, like, we have to seriously look at the other. But either way, 200 hits for however many years in a row. This dude was one of the best teammates I ever had. We will get to Seattle and get to hang out with him when he gets his number retired. Just got it. We're just waiting to email the Mariners again.
I cannot wait. I'm going to tell him flat out that he is the greatest con man in the history of sports. Because this idea, not even the idea, the fact that this guy got away with doing interviews for his entire career. I no speak English. Bullshit. You spoke English. We all knew it. And you kept up the con forever. God bless you, Ichiro, that you can do that. It's just awesome.
And in case you're wondering, 0 for 1 on me.
0 for 1?
0 for 1.
Where, how did that happen? When
I believe I was with the Red
Give us the story.
Sox. I believe I was with the Red Sox, and he hit a comebacker, and I knocked it down and then got him out.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. I did not know that. All this time, we never discussed that. That's cool.
Yep.
And finally, the last man.
Junior's 0 for 1. He's 0 for 1. Whatever.
Yeah, but you faced Junior when he was old and broken down, probably, right?
Yeah, but that's the only time I could have.
But it doesn't. But they don't have that asterisk in the book, right?
Nope.
Exactly. Finally, the last guy in the list, and I can't agree with you more. Felix Hernandez.
Felix Hernandez, borderline Hall of Famer, just didn't have like the accumulation of numbers. I think a lot of it had to do with being on bad teams. But when you're going to start talking about Hall of Famers in like a Zach Greinke conversation and guys like that, Felix has to jump on that list. Cy Young Award winner, should have won the Cy Young twice. He was also he was Cy Young 1, Cy Young 2, Cy Young 4, Cy Young 2, Cy Young 8, Cy Young 7. He had an incredible run, was just on some Mariner teams that didn't give him enough wins, enough credibility. He could have easily been over 200 wins if he would have been on some better teams. Great teammate. I loved it. 2-time ERA title, 6-time All-Star. I mean, what can you say? Like, I was on there and I pitched for, I was his closer for arguably his best 2 years. And so a 19-5 year, and he didn't win the Cy Young. He lost that to the Greinke when that was the first like analytic year. And then the next year he was 13-12 and won the Cy Young. So he got it back.
I never met him. I never spoke to him. What kind of guy was he? Good guy, talkative, quiet? Tell me a little bit. Give us
not crazy talkative, not crazy quiet either. Just like obviously didn't speak the best of English, but again, like spoke good enough. I liked hanging out with him. We weren't like close by any means. It just just worked out that way. But he was always a great teammate, and I love being around him. And he tended to always have a smile and was having fun with stuff. So yeah,
I've heard about pitchers that you do not go near on game day. What was he like on game day?
I never went near any starting pitcher on game day. Never even thought about it. So like they all to me was, I understood it and gave them space.
Gotcha.
But he was fine. Like I will say this, he was fine. And one of the funniest things was pine tar was still like in the realm of that we could use back in the day. He would sit there and have his hands completely full of pine tar. He'd pull them apart and it would look like huge spider webs, and like, but he could do things with the baseballs that I couldn't even dream about doing.
You ever saw the movie The Replacements?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what it looked like.
He's like, I look like I just jacked off an elephant. I love that movie. All right, the next guy would be the first man out, and that would be Alex Rodriguez. Now, under all other circumstances, he should be number 2 on this list, or 3, depending on Ichiro, but the steroid accusations, or the steroids, period. There wasn't accusations, he got popped.
No, I would say actually what stops him, that had nothing to do with any of this, is he didn't play long enough as a Mariner. Felix had a longer, more... Felix, my last one on that list, had more time and more impact as a Mariner. Alex did not. He only spent 6 years there, or 7 years. And so he didn't play long enough. It was an incredibly impressive 7 years or whatever it was. He didn't spend enough time in Texas. He didn't spend enough time in New York. Alex didn't end up on any of these lists. And I'm sorry, I'm jumping the list to the Texas Rangers, but he is not on any list because he just didn't spend enough time there. So that's what stops me on this list. And obviously he had the PED stuff going on in his career, but Barry's on this. David Ortiz, talking about David Ortiz. And so, like, when you get down there, like, it didn't have any impact on this. To me, he became such a good hitter. I mean, in 96 was his first really, like, that was his first full year, but he only played 97, 98, 99, 2000. 2001, he was in Texas. So he didn't have an impact on the Mariners the way other players did. But again, I mean, when he was there, you saw a superstar immediately.
40, man.
You know what was going to happen. You know where this road was going. And there was no one else in Mariners history yet that was able to just have that, like, wow factor. And like, dude, if he just stayed there, he would have been a Hall of Famer. Minus PED stuff, he would have been a Hall of Famer with the Mariners if he just stayed there. And we've talked about it on the show, a lot of interesting stuff about that.
Yeah. Still, my favorite story is when Junior and some other guys on the Mariners told them that they were starting a new business venture and they wanted to buy semen from players, and they tricked A-Rod into wanting to donate his semen to this business venture.
I can see that. But again, let's go to the numbers. 3-time MVP, World Series champion, 10-time Silver Slugger, Player of the Year, 2-time Gold Glover, batting title, 14-time All-Star. Minus PEDs, very short list. Minus PEDs, he's on the shortest of short lists. If you take that all away, like the Barry Bonds stuff, like Barry Bonds number 1, Alex would be, as a hitter, probably in that conversation for Mount Rushmore of greatest hitters of all time.
And let's add Torrey Wilson and let's see, Cameron Diaz, among others, to his accolades.
Kate Hudson.
Yeah, I think J-Lo at one point. That guy was.
J-Lo. He was married to J-Lo, bro.
Was he?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Oh, he's got all sorts of accolades.
My favorite videos is like when him, like, it's rookie year, and they said, who's your dream girl? It's Jennifer Lopez. He goes, I'm going to marry Jennifer Lopez. And that was his rookie year in big leagues. And then he ends up marrying her.
Huh. That's funny. All right. Last thing before we end the show, we're going to talk about the guy who.
One more.
I said before we end the show, we're going to talk about the guy who is on the team right now that could make it. However, you did this list right at the beginning of the season.
It was funny. We haven't even talked about this, and I already prepped for it.
Okay, because I prepped for it too.
Talk about this. Yes.
You put Julio Rodriguez as the guy on the team who could make this Mount Rushmore. Have you changed your view?
In some ways, yes. In some ways, no. Julio Rodriguez, I believe, is still the next guy up. And you want to know why? Is that he's 24 years old. Cal Raleigh's rookie year was 24 years old. He's 28 now. He is perfectly in the prime of his career. Julio and Cal, I don't even know how much longer he's going to be a Mariner. Julio Rodriguez is 24. He still has 4 years before his prime. What?
Cal got signed to an extension, so he's going to be there for a while.
For a little while. Who knows where that's going to end up being at 32, right? Mm-hmm. There's going to be there's a lot of time between now, and we know Julio ain't going anywhere. Yeah. So Julio still has him in a lot of categories, like batting average. He's 50 points higher than Cal, and on base percentage and slugging, they're very close. OPS plus, Julio has them. Like hits, Julio's ahead of him. Home runs, he's behind, but like those numbers are going to catch up. They're going to catch up. It's just a matter of if he can do it in that stadium and as a Mariner over time. We have to figure out that stadium. Cal's obviously is having a much better year. What Cal's done is so far is basically the same as what Julio's done. And Julio is also basically a Gold Glove, like center field, like candidates, like the way he robs home runs and covers ground without looking like it's hard.
I'd also like to take this opportunity to admit that I was wrong, and it doesn't happen very often when I'm wrong, but in this case, I was wrong. Before the season, when they signed Cal Raleigh to an extension, I said, why give him that money now and put it on the books when he can use that on another player? Thank God the Mariners signed him to that extension before, or he was going to cost them at least another $10 million per year. So good job by Jerry Dipoto.
They saw it coming.
Yeah, well, that's why, unfortunately, I don't work for Major League Baseball, even though, God, how is it that I know the owner of the team and I can't get a job?
Right.
Messed up. Dave, you got anything else to add before the end of the day?
Keep the All-Star game. I love it.
All right. And I still say let's make the pitchers hit in the All-Star game and the hitters pitch. Talk to you next week, guys. It was a lot of fun. Bye-bye.